All right, guys, welcome. We have a nice 10-game slate to go over here on Wednesday. Apologize if I'm coughing a little bit or my voice sounds a little bit weird. Again, under the weather, been trying to just pound a lot of Gatorade water and some soup. But still going to get out a live stream because I like the slate a good amount, and I like live streaming. So, if you guys are just coming in, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. As far as news goes, as it stands right now, so we already have some pretty significant news. LeBron James is ruled out, and we're still waiting on Anthony Davis news. So that's pretty much like the big news. There's a couple other guys that are questionable, but really right now Anthony Davis is going to change the slate. We already know there's no LeBron, so Westbrook looks good. If Anthony Davis is out too, then the Lakers' value looks really, really good. Now, if Anthony Davis plays, then obviously, Westbrook, Anthony Davis, and then still some Lakers' value is going to look solid. So that'll be the key piece of news to monitor, and that's an 8 o'clock Eastern game. So that will be an hour after lock. So we might not get that news until, after lock. So you have to keep that in the back of your mind. But yeah, guys, that's really it for the quick overview as far as injury news. So make sure to leave some questions in the chat. And yeah, let's do it. Huge slate. Yeah, again, Lakers news is the big one, right? So that's one to keep an eye on. Ryan DK, 11 times out of 10. Appreciate that, David. Mickey and A. Disney out tonight. Yeah, so LeBron out, and if I had to guess, since this is a back-to-back and AD, was in some pain last game, I would say he doesn't play. But yeah, that's just my guess. Appreciate that, Dirty Dan. Is Rondo actually viable? Yeah, I think so. He is. Is he the flat min or is he 3.1K now? He's 3.1. But so he played 20 minutes last game. That's pretty good for Rajon Rondo at this price point. Now he might have to play a little bit more if Anthony Davis is out. Not the same. They play the same position. But you're just going to have one less body in that rotation to kind of maybe force everyone else to play some extra minutes. So, yeah, I would like Rondo at that price. Dominating NBA DFS early. Love it, love it. Do you expect AD to play? If I had to guess, I would say no. Yeah, just because it's a back-to-back, it's the Thunder, and he was in some pain last night. Like I saw him, he was on the ground holding his knee. Mike Muscala out, slate changing. Oh, yeah. Don't disrespect Mike. Is Giannis a must-play? No, he's not a must-play, but I do think he looks like one of the safer spend-ups, right? If you take a look at the guys at the very top and look at their matchups, right? So KD, tough matchup against Miami, same with Harden. Towns is fine, and Paul George are in decent matchups, but I just think, Giannis probably looks the best as it stands right now. What's up, DK? What's up, David? Thoughts on playing Horford? I think he's a fair play in the mid-range. The 2 games he has played so far, he's played pretty well. It's a good matchup. 25, 30 minutes. I think I expect around, 28 or so minutes for Al Horford. So I think he's a pretty decent play in the mid-range. Giddey and Jarrett Allen or Scotty Barnes and pressures for cash. I just don't think I can play Scotty Barnes in cash because the foul trouble risk, right? He's one of the few guys, it's most of the time you're worried about bigs getting in foul trouble, but Scotty Barnes is just always in foul trouble. He was in foul trouble almost every single game in the preseason. He's been in foul trouble 2 or 3 times now to start the regular season. So, I just don't think I can play Scotty Barnes in cash. I'll say this for the first one. Zubac play more? Yeah, I would think so. I would think one of Zubac or Hartenstein is on the court at all times. So I think Zubac is actually a pretty sneaky play today. I think he's going to go a little bit overlooked because the minutes, right? He hasn't been closing games. But you have to look at the matchup, right? You got to look at who he's playing. Also, he played 25 minutes last game. That was a massive blowout. So he probably would have played about 30. So, I throw those 2 games out the window. I don't even care about it. Both teams went small in those games. This is the Cleveland Cavs, right? They're going to have 2 traditional bigs out there basically at all times, right? With Allen or Mobley or Kevin Love. Markkanen's going to get minutes. So I think Zubac is a pretty sneaky play here. I think he might push for 30 minutes in this one. I think people are overlooking him on the slate, so I actually like him a lot. Wondering about Portis minutes. Yeah, I'm hoping we get clarity on that, right? Knowing Coach Budenholzer, we won't. And then that's going to come down to, all right, how much can he play coming off a hamstring injury? I heard some people talking 20-ish minutes. it kind of feels like a lot. I don't know. I feel like they're going to limit his minutes. Let's just say this. If I knew Bobby Portis was going to play over 20 minutes, I would probably play him at this price point. The fact that Milwaukee's very thin up front. So hopefully we do get some clarity on that one. Thoughts on Shea, Monk, OG, Giannis, Chua, Rondo, Barnes, and Van Fleet? Probably one too many Raptors there. I don't know if I want to play 4 Raptors in one lineup. I know they're going to be popular, but I don't think they're a team that I want to play 4 guys from. You got Harden over 20.5 points tonight. You have to score more than 20 points this season. What do you think? I mean, I just think from a DFS aspect, I think this is the game he's going to randomly go off when no one plays him, right? Because he doesn't look good in this spot. It's a tough matchup. His price is up, so no one's going to play him. And tonight's going to be the night where he smashes, and people are going to be very tilted. So, like, over 20.5 points, I don't have a super strong take of that. I'll just say for DFS, it kind of feels like this is going to be a random Harden night. Travis, what's up, man? Are you waiting to build your lineups? Yeah. I usually don't even build my lineup until right before I get on Patreon stream, so like 30 minutes before lock. That's usually when I start looking at it. So, yeah, I just wait for news. Like, I think it's... I mean, you can do it, but in my opinion, you're wasting time. Like, you can do it to get a good idea of what you want to do, like kind of if then. But yeah, I don't spend too much time on it before, maybe 30 minutes or so before lock. Yeah, guys, hit that like button. Make sure to come in and hit the like button. It helps me out. We're already at about 140 concurrent viewers, 24 likes. Let's see. You're playing both Ja and Russ. I don't know. I haven't built my lineup yet, but I think Russ looks like a very safe play. Ja I like in tournament. Sorry. Ja I like in tournaments. I think the price point's going to scare some people off, and I agree. It's definitely not a cash game play. It's you go there for a low owned GBP play, but like, whoops, not Harden. As I said, like without Jonas Valanciunas, he's doing everything for this team. He had 65 fantasy points in 38 minutes. He's also playing massive minutes. If we're going to get close to 40 minutes from Ja against the Portland Trailblazers, who play very little defense, I'm actually fine paying this price point. I think he has a good amount of upside. I think if he continues to play like this, he's going to be over 10K. So I actually do like Ja. We kind of throw last year out the window. He is way more productive right now, and it's a great matchup. So I like him in tournaments, yeah. Can you play Howard and Jordan if Davis is out? So what I'll say about that is, I think the Lakers, those two would split 48 minutes at center, right? Because they have no other bigs. I don't really see the Lakers going small. So with that being said, 24 minutes of Howard, 24 minutes of DeAndre Jordan. Both are good point per minute guys, and both are almost min price. So I'm going to say yes. Now, there's some other good center plays, cheap center plays on this slate as well. So you don't necessarily have to play them both, but I'm fine if you want to run them both together because I think they split the 48 minutes at center. Westbrook, JV, and Ja. Hey, I'm fine with it. Yeah. Anything for prize picks? If Ja is still at 41, I like the over. Let's see. NBA. Let's see if that's still up there. Where are we at? Where is... okay, so it's 41.5 now. It was 41 earlier. I think so. I still like the over on Ja, and I like the over on Steven Adams. Those two in a good matchup. I think both play. Obviously, Steven Adams is going to play over 30 minutes, and Ja might push for close to 40 if the game's as competitive. Favorite Lakers if AD is out, so I like both centers. I think Monk would look really good. Basically, everyone on that team would be in play, like Carmelo, Rondo, the bigs, as I said. You can make the argument for Bazemore, even though he looks like he doesn't belong in a basketball court. I think Steven Adams is a very good play for cash games, yeah. Now, again, we need Anthony Davis news, but like as it stands right now, Steven Adams is going to play about 30 minutes, and I just think he's a little bit too cheap. Does Zubac play more? Yes. Well, does it affect Batum? Not necessarily, because Batum's basically going to get a lot of the Marcus Morris minutes. So I'm expecting 25 to 30 minutes from Batum in a close game. I think we get the same from Zubac. I think he could push for 30 in this game. So he's another kind of sneaky value center that I think is going overlooked. DK to go. Appreciate that, man. Jaylen Brown over 2.5 assists on Prize Picks easy. I don't know if Super Strong taking that. Dame or Trey better? Ooh, that's a good question. So I think Trey, but the ownership on Dame's going to be pretty low after the slow start. So, like, as I said, like, Dame is not going to continue to shoot this bad. We're going to see a blow-up game from Dame soon. Is it now in a high total game against Memphis in a potential shootout? It's possible. Nuora now or no? Probably not for me now. Do you think? I would say yes, because it's a back-to-back and he banged his knee, and it's Anthony Davis. So, yeah, I would think so. Really liking the early live streams. I appreciate it, man. Loving Memphis tonight. Yeah, I think Memphis looks good. Thoughts on Harrell? He's one of the many cheaper centers in play. I think, low to mid 20s minutes, possibly more if there's no if Gaffer gets in foul trouble, I should say. Westbrook, Melton, Bain, Giannis, Jordan, SGA, Horford, Howard. Yeah, I like it. Morant, Lillard, or Trey, what do you think? So, Trey probably looks the best for his salary. But again, I do still kind of like Ja for tournaments tonight. And I like Lillard for tournaments. I like all three, but since Trey's the cheapest, I'll say that one. But yeah, I think all three are good tournament plays. All right, where are we at? We got some people helping me out saying hit the like button. Yeah, appreciate that, guys. Yeah, again, we're just coming in. Make sure to hit the like button. Like this lineup, let's see. Best cash power forward. Best cash power forward, Giannis. Thoughts on Melton and Bain? I think both are too cheap. In a good matchup, I think both play around 30 minutes. They're not like 3K, like free squares like there were previous slates, but they're still underpriced in my opinion. So I do like both. Yeah, I like the over on Ja and the over on Steven Adams. I think that game turns into a shootout. Hopefully Portland can actually hit some shots so the game stays close. Unlike, was it last night? I swear I'm going crazy. Or was that 2 nights? That was last night, right? Where they just got destroyed. All the days blend together now. All the tilting blends together. Oh, no, that was 2 nights ago. Okay, yeah, last night was the Nuggets Jazz. That was 2 nights ago where they got just ran off the court. Because Draftkings is lazy with their salaries. That's why Malachi Flynn is that much. John Melton, Bain, Giannis, Hartenstein, Russ, Little, and Jordan. Okay, yeah, Hartenstein's another kind of sneaky value play. I think one of him or Zubac is going to be on the court at all times, and Hartenstein's a phenomenal point per minute guy. Revenge game, right? Because he was in the Cavs last year, if you're into that. Carmelo, if no AD. Yeah, he's in play. He had an awful game. He was like the only Laker that busted last game. But he had 40-plus the previous game, right? So this is the floor if Carmelo's not hitting his shots. If he's hitting his shots, he has a ceiling. So, yeah, if there's no AD2, then Carmelo's probably going to be one of the top options on offense. Grayson Allen, Monk, Wagner, Steven Adams for value. I like Monk and Steven Adams. Harden time. Yeah, no one's going to play Harden. Would you avoid playing Westbrook? What is that? Huh. Floor is just like rumbling. I was like, what on earth is that? That was weird. Would you avoid playing Westbrook and Rondo together? I think you can because Rondo is so cheap. So they'll be out in the court together at times. Prioritize JV or value center. I'm playing on FanDuel today, so only one center. I know JV is a little cheaper on FanDuel, but you probably go to a value center. Cheap small forward. Let's take a look. We mentioned Bain. I like Bain. I think Giddey is definitely viable too. I think those two look pretty solid. And then Batum small forward too. So then you have the Clippers guys. So then you have like the Batum, Luke Kennard, Terrence Mann with no Marcus Morris. I think all are viable as well. That's probably where I'm looking for cheap small forward. What do you think of a Russ, Reeves, Giddey? I don't know if I can stomach Austin Reeves, even if all those guys are out. He's really just out there for his shooting. So even if they're all out, I don't know if I can stomach that. Hard night, great. I mean, no one's going to play Harden. Devontae Graham feels a little bit too cheap. What's your thoughts on Steven Adams? Yeah, I think he's one of the best cash game plays. The Clippers have been playing small, yeah, but look who they're going up against, right? They're going up against the Cavs, who have like 2 bigs out there at all times, so I don't really see them going small. Plus, look at last game, the Blazers were a big team with either Nurkic or Cody Zeller on the court at all times, and Zubac played 25 minutes, and that game blew out. Biggest blowout risks? Well, let's take a look at the odds. Let's see. I mean, the Thunder, even if Anthony Davis is out, the Thunder always have a chance of getting blown out. Probably the Cavs, I would say, on the road against the Clippers. Precious or Melton? That's a good question. So, I'll say Precious right now, but that's close. Tatum and Morant or AD and Trey. I like AD and Trey more. If AD plays, obviously. You like Dwight and AD? You like Dwight if AD? Yes. Yeah. How does Anthony Edwards look to you? I think he's definitely viable on the slate. He's 7.7K. The minutes have been really high on him, 37-40. So, I think he is definitely viable, kind of in the upper mid-tier. Don't love the price on him, but yeah, the minutes have been good. Do you prefer Howard or Jordan? Well, it depends if Anthony Davis plays. If Anthony Davis plays, then they're both kind of fine tournament plays. If Anthony Davis is out, I think it's basically 50-50 because I think they're going to split the minutes. Both are productive, so I wouldn't have a super strong lean there. Like SGA again tonight. Yeah, so his price went down, right? He's only 7-1. I'm not scared of Lakers in the defensive end. 39, 36 minutes in competitive games. So I do think he is underpriced. All right, what else do we got? Portis, yeah, keep an eye on news. If there's no limitations for Portis, I like him a good amount. Nance, Batum, or Man. Taking pricing consideration, it'll be a Batum there. Man or Giddey. Oh, that's pretty close. I'll say Man. Thoughts on Tatum? Kind of feels like a chase. Game went to overtime. I think he's fine, but ownership might be a little bit inflated. Barnes or Bridges? I don't love either, but I'll say Bridges. Ryder just takes so much away. Yeah, McDaniels, Minnesota. Sorry. Yeah, so Minnesota McDaniels. Fine, we'll play big minutes, super, super low usage. I think in a slate where there's very little value, he'd be more viable. Sorry, I can't talk. But there is a decent amount of value plays on the slate, so definitely a secondary option for me. Russell, Monk, Ja, Bain, Giannis, Franz Wagner, Adams, and Zubac. Okay, it's a good GPP build. Franz Wagner, the only thing I'll say about him is the minutes went down last game. So that's not the best sign. He's a low usage guy, so he kind of needs to be playing 30+ minutes. He only played 27 last game, so that does worry me a little bit. Nasir Little is cheap if Powell sits. Yeah, I think Nasir Little is good value. He played 30+ minutes last game if there's no Powell. You look Nance if Powell sits? No, it would be Little for me. Yeah, so we kind of went over that. If AD's out, I like both bigs. Westbrook, obviously, and then Monk, Rondo. Really, honestly, basically the whole roster. Anyone that you expect to play 20+ minutes would look like a really good play for the Lakers. Westbrook, Monk, Giddey, Giannis, Dwight, SGA, Harrison Barnes, and DeAndre Jordan. Okay, yeah. Again, if AD's out, I'm fine with that one. Bledsoe, Lauri Markkanen, or CJ Little. If Powell's out, yeah, I'd rather go CJ and Little if Powell's out. If Powell's in, I'm not playing Nasir Little, so the first one, but the Bloods, I don't love playing Lauri Markkanen on the slate. He's what? Isn't he almost 6K? He's 5'4". It's just kind of a fine play, right? He's like a safe play. He'll get you 25-ish fancy points, most likely. Holmes in the mid-range. The only issue I have with Holmes is center's pretty loaded. If he was power forward eligible, I'd have a lot more interest. Now, he does have upside. If he stays out of foul trouble, I think he plays around 30 minutes. But again, not the best matchup for him. Luke Kennard did well. Yeah, so Luke Kennard has to hit his shots, though. That's the thing. So, he's in play, but don't expect him to shoot 8 of 10 again. If he doesn't hit his shots, he has a floor of sub-10 fancy points. Same thing I said about Doug McDermott. I had a lot of people asking me about Doug McDermott last slate. I said, hey, he's fine. He has to hit his shots. Well, he did not hit his shots. I think he finished with one fancy, or he did what did he finish with? Let's see. He was awful, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 4 points, 1 rebound. That's it. So that's the risk of playing score independent guys. Is the floor is super low. Do you like having Russ, Ja, and Trey in a lineup? I think it's fine. I like all three of those guards. Dotson and Horford, I think a pretty safe play in the mid-range, plays around 30 minutes. Bane or Melton, Bane, but it's basically 50-50. Malik Monk, good value, becomes one of the better value plays if AD is out too. If AD's out, I wouldn't worry about it as much. If AD's in, then you can consider it because the Thunder are awful, but it's only a 5-point spread. Precious or Melton, Precious right now. Sub DK thoughts on Westbrook, Monk, Giddey, Giannis, Steve Adams, SGA, Laurie, Dwight. I think it's solid. Chris Paul, fine play. Doesn't really stand out. Like the Suns guys are always secondary options for me. Good matchup for him. I think he's viable. I'm just worried about his minutes based on last game. Power forward, 5,500. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, I'd probably go Laurie there at 54. Melton and Bruce Brown or Laurie and Dwight. Laurie and Dwight if there's no AD. Dawson, Van Fleet, Melton, Bane, Durant. Nurkic, SGA, Mann, and Hartenstein. It's definitely contrarian. I see you have no Lakers. I'm just going to say that you're probably going to want to change that, especially if Anthony Davis is out. As a favorite value, again, we'll go over that. That's over on Patreon, or I'll hammer home, where I'm going, if-then statements, depending on whether or not LeBron plays, or Anthony Davis plays, I should say. My favorite value plays, all the good stuff. Patreon.com, link down below if you guys want access to that. Alfred Payton, I think in large field tournaments, he'll play the backup point guard, but I think it's getting too cute on the main slate. If you were to presume a 30-minute outing for Capella, yes. If he plays 30 minutes, I think he hits he hits value. Watch Lakers chalk and it blows out. Yeah. You never know. The Thunder are awful. Would you fade Westbrook in tournaments for someone like Trey? You can. It's a pretty risky fade, I'll say that. What do you think, Miles Turner? I'm probably going to pass. I'm probably going to pass on Turner. There's too many good center plays, in my opinion. So bonus, fine spend up. I don't think he's going to be super popular on this one. Westbrook, LaMelo, Monk, Hero, Ingram, Bridges, Achua, Bam, and Jordan. Okay, I see no issues there. Is KD a must? No. Tough matchup as prices up, but KD's been the much more consistent member, star of the Nets. Who are the Oklahoma City bringbacks? SGA. So, the rotation is just such a headache for the Thunder. SGA is the guy you can feel the best about. I think Giddey is viable too. And that might be it. Baisley didn't close last game. They closed with Muscala. They also have Favors back. I just have a hard time trusting anyone outside of SGA and Giddey. Howard, or it's flip a coin. I like them both a lot if AD's out. Yep, you can play them both together. Bam or Sabonis. Alfred as a Rondo pivot. The only thing I'll say is, I get it. I get where you're going there. But, if this slate had no values, then, then you can play Alfred Payton at mid-price. But, I think it's getting too cute. In a large field tournament, if you want one lineup with Alfred Payton, then fine. Yeah, he's actually a guy that can stuff a stat sheet. But, I think it's getting a little bit too cute. SGA, Hero, OG, Giannis, Nurkic, Monk, Bane, Hartenstein. Okay. So bonus for Ja for Tier 2. Ja. Thoughts on Suggs? He's just secondary play for me. 5K. Kind of taking a little bit of a backseat to Cole Anthony recently. So, not out of play, but doesn't really stand out. Towns or Giannis? Giannis, how much is... there's a few different packages. $30 package, $40 package, and $50 package. So 30 is just the standard. I got to pick either Kuzma or Anunoby. OG there. Tatum for a contrarian play, fine option. I think there's better spend ups, but good matchup there. JV, your favorite center? No, I think he is. X out Giannis. I think he's probably my favorite spend up center, because he's just playing massive minutes, right? 39 minutes, no overtime, 39 minutes. If he's going to play close to 40 minutes here, Jonas Valanciunas should be almost $10,000. So I like him a good amount as a spend up center. The only issue is I wish I could play 10 centers today. SGA, Monk, Giddey, Markkanen, Adams, Russ. I see no issue there. Howard or Jordan, flip a coin, really. I think if there's no Anthony Davis, they both split the 48 minutes down the middle. How about Cam Reddish? I'm going to pass. I don't really want to go those Atlanta Wings. We also have DeAndre Hunter back. So that's going to be less minutes for Reddish. Also, Gallinari might play. I'm going to stay away from those Wings. Or Young, Melton, Giddy, Carmelo, Chua, Westbrook, Little, JB. I think it's a fine lineup too. Rozier out. Okay. No LaMelo, Blowout rest. Even PJ Washington, Rozier out. He's viable. Viable. My issue here is the minutes. 29, 26, 33 in overtime. So they play like, what, 28 in regulation. That's the only thing. If LaMelo is playing 35 plus minutes a night, I would love him at this price. He's probably going to play like 30 minutes. So he's viable, but it's frustrating they're not playing him more. Favorite Wolves play under the assumption that the game stays close. Cat. Thanks for the answer. I want 5x over the past couple nights. Thanks to you. Hey, man, appreciate that. Westbrook, Monk, Bane, Mello, Zubac, Shaw, Tatum, and Howard. Okay, yeah, thanks, TK, appreciate it. Yeah, of course. Thoughts on Achua? I think he's very safe play. I think he plays around 30 minutes in a competitive game. There's no foul trouble. I think he's too cheap still. Tournament lineup, Westbrook, Monk, Bruce Brown, Tatum, Achua, Morant. Okay. NAW or Bridges? Bridges is still what I'm like, I don't think he keeps up this pace, but you can't deny what he's been doing. So I'll say Bridges here because he's really, really been playing well. He's really been playing well. NAW feels priced about right. I love NAW, but like mid 6K range, that feels right. Hero or NAW? Thanks, DK. Appreciate you. I'm going to run both lineups. Cool. Hero or NAW? Yeah. I'll say Hero. Steve Adams is yeah, I think he looks good. Oubre's going to go off. He's like a fine secondary play. Doesn't really stand out. Probably plays low 30s minutes, I would say. So I get the play. I get it. He played massive minutes last game. I don't think he plays like 38 in regulation. But yeah, I think he is viable. Right. This game he only played 23. I guess he was in some foul trouble. So yeah, I think we get probably over 30 minutes from Kelly Oubre at 5'7". That's definitely playable. What do you think about Dwight Howard if AD is out? I think he plays low to mid. Like I think him and DeAndre Jordan split the center minutes. So I would say project 24 minutes for both. Wagner or Melo. If AD is out, I'm going to say Melo. Anthony Edwards, yeah, I think he's fine. Playing big minutes. Price doesn't really stand out, but I have no issue if you want to play him. Guys, we're at 220 concurrent viewers, 64 likes. Appreciate it. Could we get that up to like 80 or so before I get out of here? I'll stay live for a few extra minutes. Usually I'm trying to only go for 30, but yeah, I'll stay live for a few extra minutes here. If Davis is out, it's Howard, Jordan, and yeah, you can play them both together. You don't have to, but like I think they split the center minutes. Would you have Russ in 150 if you do MME? If Anthony Davis is out, yes, I would. I would play 100%. In a big slate like this, what's the most exposure you'd have to one game? It depends. It was a 5-game slate last night, and I had 7 players from the Lakers and the Spurs. So, if there's so many, if there's like 2 teams that are super, super thin and, a lot of injuries, like you can play 7 guys in one game. It's just like, how good are the values, right? So like, for example, the Lakers game is probably the game that's going to be the most popular. So like, if Anthony Davis is out, you can definitely play like 4, 5, maybe even 6 guys from that game. Is there a good pivot off of little plays? Yeah, I think Batum looks pretty safe. He doesn't have an insane upside, but probably plays close to 30 minutes. Simons for value, I'm going to pass there. Yeah, I think Batum's pretty safe. I think he plays 25 to 30 minutes. He's not a super high usage guy, but, he's really, really cheap. He's probably not going to kill you. Butler is just too expensive for me. I love the matchup for him here against Brooklyn, but almost 9K for Jimmy Butler with Lowry there, with Hero being very productive off the bench. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Russ, Monk, Giddy, Markin, and Joval, SGA, Oubre, and Adams. I see no issue there. There's been no news on Paul yet. McDaniels in my bucket play with Washington and Rozier out. The McDaniels on Charlotte. How many minutes did he play last game? 22. Because Rozier and PJ were out last game, and he still only played 22 minutes, so I get what you're going for there, but I think there's better value. NAW and Sabonis or Bridges and Bam? The first one for me. Thoughts on Paul George after letdown blowout game? I like Paul George. I don't think he's going to be super popular. There's a little bit of blowout risk here, but like he's going to play about 35 minutes in a competitive game, so the Cavs can keep it close. Paul George can definitely pay off the salary. Now, I don't expect he had 8 steals last game. That's definitely not going to happen again. Morant, Connaughton, Allen, Batum, Nurkic. I'm not as high on those secondary guys for the Bucks now with Bobby Portis coming back. So Patsy, Allen, I don't love those guys. Thoughts on Lillard, Monk, Mann, Wagner, Giannis. Yeah, so whatever Wagner, I'm a little bit worried about his minutes because he only played 27 last game. But everything else I'm fine with. LaMelo over Jaylen Brown for me, yeah. Westbrook, Jaylen Brown, Miles Bridges, Anthony Edwards, Rashawn Holmes, Steven Adams, Malik Monk, and Rajon Rondo. It's definitely contrarian. Guys like Brown, Bridges, Holmes. I don't think you're going to get much ownership. Russ, Monk, OG, Melo, Giannis, SGA, Little, Dwight if AD is out. Okay, I like it. Anthony Edwards, yeah, we've had a few questions about him. I think he's at a fine price point, playing big minutes. Tatum and Brown together, Tatum and Brown together now. I would not play them both together on a 10 gamer. Now, if the game goes, like every game Boston plays feels like it goes to overtime, so if it goes to overtime, that could work out. But no, I wouldn't play them together on a 10 gamer. Yeah. I would probably prefer Jaylen to Tatum for Boston for the price discount now. He's 7.8, Tatum's 9.1, so I think I would have a lean to Brown over Tatum. You think Carmelo will score 17? If Anthony Davis is out, Carmelo's going to shoot the ball a ton, so I think you would have a decent chance. Would you be okay with Giannis with Adams and Dwight, or replace Giannis with... Would you... Okay, I asked that again. Graham or Schroeder? Graham. Because Horford's back, so I think Schroeder moves to the bench. Bane and Adams are my... Yeah, I think they look good. I think the Memphis guys look pretty good. All right, guys, last-minute questions, throw them in here. Otherwise, I am going to call it on that. Again, we got Rozier news, right? That's the only news we have so far. And yeah, Rozier rolled out. That's kind of what we expected, right? I think he was doubtful coming into the game. We have the Magic always give their starting lineup so early, which is nice. I'm not complaining about it. Okay, I think I don't see any more questions, guys. So I'm going to call it on that. Good luck tonight. Let's hope for some more big winners like we saw last night, and I will see you guys back here tomorrow.